Hello and welcome to Unacademy IAS, a one-stop destination for all the English medium civil services aspirants. Very recently, the Government of India through UPSC had issued a notification for lateral entry for certain positions within the central government. That notification was issued on 17th of August, and today the Minister Jitendra Singh has written a letter to UPSC asking them to withdraw the earlier ad or the notification. Now, what is the issue all about? What is the concept of lateral entry? Why there are so many political parties opposed to the idea of a lateral entry? Let's try and understand. The concept of lateral entry essentially means the UPSC, which generally selects the candidates for various central government positions, basically for IAS, IPS, etc., instead of conducting the normal recruitment process, which generally spans for more than 1 year, will conduct a separate process where the experts from different fields, different areas, through a recruitment process, that is basically through interview process, will be selected. And because these candidates who have a lot of experience in their respective fields will generally get directly selected through an interview, this process is called as a lateral entry. Now, the concept of lateral entry in the context of Indian government is not new. Earlier also, various governments have selected candidates, have directly appointed candidates for various central government positions. Examples are Dr. Manmohan Singh is an example of a lateral entry. Mr. Montek Singh Ahluwalia, who worked as a deputy chairman of the Planning Commission, is an example of a lateral entry. Mr. Sam Pitroda, who is considered to be a very important personality who drove the telecom revolution in India, the telecom sector in India, is also an example of a lateral entry. So, instead of conducting the normal process of writing preliminary examination, mains examination and then interview, and then finally providing the list and selecting the candidates, under lateral entry, the positions are notified, the conditions which are applicable, the eligibilities which are applicable are also notified. For example, you can see the ad or the notification that was issued by the Union Public Service Commission on 17th September. This is a snapshot of this notification. Although the notification is very lengthy, the notification announced lateral entry for 45 positions. For 45 positions for joint secretary and director or deputy secretary level officers. And this led to a lot of discussion, lot of criticism, as well as the concerns regarding this particular process of hiring workers, or let's say hiring the secretary level or the joint secretary level officers. Now, what is the issue all about? Understand this carefully. Whenever the UPSC will conduct the civil services examination, whatever positions are selected for, there will be a concept of quota system. There will be a concept of reservation which is applicable on the number of positions. Let's say 100 IAS officers need to be selected. There will be reservation for SCs, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBCs, etc. And overall, let's say in all the segments for where the selection is conducted by UPSC, there is a quota, there is a reservation that is maintained or provided for by the UPSC. But in this case, the criticism, the main criticism that has been centered around is the concept of reservation itself. Although the idea of the lateral entry has been followed by the government earlier as well. For example, the recommendation regarding lateral entry was given by the second ARC, which was set up during the UPA government, but specifically the idea of a lateral entry was introduced by the current government in the year 2018, following the recommendation, I repeat, following a recommendation by Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog recommended that there should be a certain level of officers, or let's say certain positions for which a lateral entry must be allowed, lateral entry must be followed. And based on this recommendation, starting from 2018, the union government started the process of lateral entry. According to the information that has been provided by the government, so far 63 positions have been filled up through the concept or through the recruitment of lateral entry. Post 2018 or since 2018, 63 positions have been filled. Having said so, the concern which has been raised regarding the latest recruitment drive is the number of positions and whether there is a reservation which is provided for these positions which are selected for by the UPSC. So, the number of positions for which the ad was provided by the government or the UPSC was 45 positions, and this becomes the highest number of lateral entry positions that have been advertised by UPSC so far. So, look at the situation. Post 2018, total 63, and 2024 alone 45 positions have been called for filling up through the lateral entry. And this led to a lot of criticism, lot of, let's say, the discussion regarding the concept of lateral entry. And the argument, like I told you earlier, these 45 positions, these are going to be filled up by the government without any reservation. There is no reservation which is going to be provided. And in fact, various political parties labeled this process of lateral entry as privatization. I repeat, privatization of civil services, where Government of India is opening up these positions for the people who are working in the private sector. But to be very precise, these are the important factual points regarding lateral entry. Listen to me very carefully. Point number 1, the positions which are filled up under the lateral entry, these are not opened only for the private sector, and the key term here will be only for the private sector. From private sector, from government owned organizations as well, you can apply for lateral entry. Point number 1. Point number 2, the argument that this is basically going to violate or let's say circumvent the concept of reservation is factually incorrect. Some of you will simply ask me, sir, how that can be factually incorrect? If you are hiring 45 people, don't you think there should be a reservation here? Argument is very simple. Whenever you talk about lateral entry, these positions do not look at with the full number. Do not look at the full number. These are individuals who will be selected for 45 positions. That is, 45 positions individually will be filled up. All these 45 is not counted as one entry or let's say one, right, let's say selection. There will be 45 selections, and according to Government of India's guidelines, whenever you have let's say the selection, whenever you have selection for single position like this, reservation is not applicable. I repeat, whenever you have selection for individual positions like this, reservation is not applicable. That is the precise reason whenever such lateral entry, let's say ads have been provided, they will use the term these will be unreserved positions. These will be unreserved positions. This is a second very important point. Third very important point here is there a need for lateral entry? Is there a need for lateral entry? Various experts bat in the favor of lateral entry. Their argument is, when you become an IAS officer, keep on putting number of years of service in different departments, but this IAS officer will not have a specialization. The IAS officer will not have specialization. They have worked in different departments, but they do not have a specialization in let's say one specific department which is an emerging area. For example, let's say semiconductor. You need a specific person who is an expert, who has put in lot of number of years, who is very much versatile, is having lot of knowledge regarding semiconductor industry, who will be able to formulate a policy or provide key inputs to formulate a policy for semiconductor promotion in India. That may not be an IAS officer who has put in multiple number of years through different ministries. And that is the precise reason. I repeat, that is the precise reason why Government of India generally goes for the concept of lateral entry. Because the Government of India is of the opinion that we need certain specialists. whereas the current IAS officers, most of them are generalist. And this argument is always there, generalist versus specialist. We require specialist. And as such, Government of India has very much categorically stated, this is not the first time that we are hiring or we are going for a lateral entry. Earlier governments also have gone for lateral entry. But only reason why this announcement of lateral entry this time in 2024 has led to so much of controversy, has led to so much of discussion and criticism is because of the sheer number of posts for which the announcement has been done. The number 45, that has actually led to a lot of criticism against Government of India's policy. So what is the way forward then? What should Government of India do? Is there a requirement of a lateral entry? Entirely, if you look at the policy of lateral entry, many experts, again I reiterate, are batting for lateral entry. There should be lateral entry. But then, how do we take care of the lateral entry? How do we convince people that lateral entry is good? One way to ensure is that government should conduct a detailed study, because the concept of lateral entry has been done by the current government itself since 2018. So why doesn't government conduct, let's say, a detailed study and with the proof show that lateral entry is actually good? We can ensure with lateral entry better policies are made. And point number 2, please remember, before you start jumping to conclusion, the lateral entry positions are not permanent positions. These are not permanent positions. These are positions just for a contract period of 3 years, which generally get extended by 2 more years, that is for 5 years. So government should convince the people, government should put forward all of this factual information which is relevant to come to a conclusion what is the need for lateral entry. But some of you will basically come to a argument. You will criticize me and say, sir, how can you bat in favor of lateral entry? We are aspirants. We also want a chance. My dear, if you look at the data for IAS officers right now, Government of India's data itself says that there are a lot of vacant positions. There are a lot of vacant positions. Now we need to fill in these vacant positions. So government should fill in these vacant positions either through the normal process, that is the process that you go through, or through lateral entry positions which are for specialized positions. So one of the 2 measures has to be used by government to fill in the position. But moreover, even before it can showcase that the lateral entry is a good thing for, let's say, the overall system in India, government should also ensure whatever reserved positions are there for various caste, various reserved positions, or let's say reserved seats are left out for SCs, STs which are vacant, all of these are filled up, only and only then think of going for a lateral entry, and here also if it is possible. Because now, today when Mr. Jitendra Singh has written to UPSC chairman asking the UPSC chairman to withdraw the lateral entry ad, the government has categorically stated they want to go for addressing historical injustices, promoting inclusivity, etc. Is there a possibility of using all of this even in the lateral entry? The government has to consider that as well. So these are the various things that are there in the current affairs regarding the concept of lateral entry. If you like these initiatives, do hit the like button, provide your valuable comments in the section below, and if you yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, kindly do it right now. Thank you. Have a great day.